There were definitely a few frustrations that we were experiencing before moving on to Everest. We were using QuickBooks Online, which is a great tool, but it was not integrated with Salesforce. And so one of the big challenges that we had every single month was having to download multiple reports from Salesforce and stitch reports together just to make sure that we hadn't missed any invoices, that we were invoicing folks on time. And we have a small team, and each person on the team was doing their own separate, different check. And so it was a very inefficient process that was prone to error. I'm Tiffany. I'm the head of finance at Productiv. For anyone who is familiar with QuickBooks Online, again, it's a great tool, but once you start trying to do more proper accounting, then you start having to rely on a lot more spreadsheets to get the work done. And so our revenue recognition, our prepaids, our fixed assets, and for every single year, the company grows and brings on more customers or even grows in headcount, the amount of work continues to grow. And at some point, you reach this point where you're just thinking, okay, like, how am I going to keep doing all these manual little processes? And it's like something that should be so straightforward. You have to add multiple sub bullets under that checklist item and say, okay, I have to get this done, but as part of that, I need to check like this item and this item. And it's all because it's all so manual. And for us, it was just getting out of hand and we were not able to guarantee the accuracy in it. And I had thought about bringing on different ERPs, the ones that are very commonly known in the space. But the biggest hurdle for me was that I had not had really great experiences in the past. Sure, they're powerful, but the systems are not very intuitive. In order for it to continue working the way you want it to, you need some sort of system admin. And our team was just not at the size where it would make sense to bring someone on full time. And it would be very costly as well, not to mention that if it was done incorrectly, it's screwed. And so I'd been holding off on moving forward with an ERP for a couple of years now. I'd thought about it and I'm like, no, I think we'll just stick with our manual process for now. And then once I found out about Everest, I was like, this is the move. I've got to move forward with this. I don't think it was necessarily a specific breaking point, but having seen, okay, we've missed this area or this item is really hard for us to track and we don't really have a good method for it other than spending hours and hours trying to get it just right manually. And even asks from auditors, there were things that they were asking for and they were saying, okay, for now, that item is immaterial, but in the back of my head, I knew that's not always going to be the case. And for me, it was really just thinking, okay, we've got these challenges today, and I don't want to get to the point where these challenges become so big, we're forced into a decision that we're just having to do at that point because we really ran out of options. And so finding out about Everest, that was a lifesaver. The first thing that stood out to me is just that it was a very beautiful system. Of course, we want software that works. That is obviously important. But I think just seeing the amount of care put into making the system intuitive and look great, we have to be in these systems day in and day out. If you have to stare at something, you want that system to at least make you excited to do your job. Like the system design itself. And then once we started going into the actual features, I got really excited about Everest's use of AI to be able to perform flex analysis. This is a huge pain point for me where it's like, we're currently loading things into Google Sheets and dumping in all these different reports, P&L, balance sheet, BVA, and then also a GL detail that we're going to pivot and pull spend by vendor for every single one of our accounts. And that just helps us do the flex a little bit faster, but still, right? I mean, that takes time. And at some point, Google Sheets is like, hey, well, I'm not going to load for you because I have too much data in here. And so I was really wowed by the AI feature that Everest had. And then given the pain point that we've really been experiencing with Salesforce and QuickBooks Online not integrating, the fact that there would be a direct integration between the two systems, and it's not just a one-way sync, but really both systems talking to each other and helping to ensure not just the finance team gets what they want, but it's a lot more streamlined for the sales and CS team. We were relying on manual process in the past, and those were error prone. And so now with Everest, we would be able to have this just very intuitive layout that would allow them to just focus on closing those deals and not worrying about what fields to fill out in the opportunity. So the amazing thing about Everest is with its direct integration with Salesforce, that eliminated the need for a CPQ, which is something we had considered in the past, but just for the cost alone, it was hard for us as a company to justify that. And our head of BizOps was actually considering trying to find some solution to get this built out. And the moment that we found out that Everest could handle all of this seamlessly, it was a no-brainer for us. There were a few things that made me decide to move forward with Everest. There was the system piece, the fact that it would be able to handle many of the challenges that we were facing on a day-to-day basis. To me, I was really excited about the platform because of this in comparison to other well-known ERPs in this space. The amount of features that Everest had with first of all, the direct integration with Salesforce, the AI for the flux analysis, ARR dashboards, that was all exciting to me. But the other thing that really stood out was just the team behind Everest. For me, over the years, what I've noticed is there's going to be good systems, there are going to be bad systems, there are going to be mediocre systems. But at the end of the day, what really matters is the people behind it, because it's the people who are building the tool. They are building the mindset of how do we think about this product? How do we think about our customers? What's important to our customers? Do it. Get Everest. It's a no-brainer. It's not like any other ERP tool that I've ever used. The team, every single person is brilliant and motivated. And I have so much faith in not just what the product is today, but what it's going to continue to evolve into and what they're going to be able to do. Everest is the best decision I've made in my time here at Productiv.